happened, and they did not have use of the buckboard. And the only means of conveyance available to Marie was, if you've seen pictures of it, you've seen the old Baha'i world books of Abdu'l-Baha's large white donkey, quite a big one. And they put her on that donkey. And it was exceedingly painful. I mean, she was in awful condition, you know. And as she rode that donkey all the way back, it's a long way, she heard bones cracking and just was in horrible agony. And she went and started straightening up. By the time she got back to Haifa, this is a true story, she was sitting totally straight. And she got, that donkey gave her the first chiropractic treatment. And so Abdu'l-Baha came out on his porch and laughed at her and said, "Ah, Miss Watson, you wouldn't ask me to say prayers for your healing, but my donkey has healed you." I really like to tell that story, but we have lots of Baha'is in the chiropractic field. I want to tell one quick Baha'i story, a little more serious in age, because some of the friends have brought friends here tonight, not so familiar with Baha'i faith. This is a true story for me. It was very meaningful. I had a very close friend, an African-American man, back in 1960 in Tampa, Florida. Well, it's not important his name. He was a young African-American lawyer. And Mr. Owens, Handley called, Leroy Owens came down. As you recall, he's a retired big official in the railroad business and had worked as the Guardian Secretary in Haifa. And this man asked the Guardian, he said, "You know, Mr. Owens, I'd like to be a Baha'i." Now this is down in Florida, remember. We were right on the border of the Everglades, you know. And so he said, "I'd like to be a Baha'i, but I like to drink a little. I'm not an alcoholic, but I like to drink. Why is it necessary for us to give up all alcohol? You know, a lot of wonderful people in the Catholic religion, they drink wine and alcohol. It's not given up by all religious people in Christianity." So this was his answer, and I thought particularly the youth would like this answer, because you can remember it. A lot of this talk Baha'is make is hard to remember. This you can remember. Mr. Owens said, "I asked Shoghi Effendi that question one day, and here was his answer. He said, "The world today is in such bad shape, it's like a swamp." And we were identifying with it because we were right on the edge of the Everglades. And he said, "The way the world deals with all of its problems these days, they put their houses up on poles, on stilts, they put screens around, they put out all kinds of poison and protecting themselves in every way they can from the snakes and the varmints and the stuff in the swamp. The Baha'is acknowledge the swamp, but their approach to living in this world is very different. We drain the swamp."